I'm a bit late to uploading this video relative to the release date of this raid, but if you would like to take on the very first raid boss solo, this video is for you. The only downside is that it might get patched soon, so make sure you take advantage of this now as it still works in the live game. Apparently on the PTS it's not working, so we might have a week or two unless they push out an update even faster. I will first show you a very quick example run and explain what I'm doing. So after that, you can decide whether or not you would like to continue this video and try this for yourself. We'll go through the gear and all other requirements afterwards. So in the beginning, obviously, we're gonna want to go press this button. But before that, if you need a damage boost, activate your damage buffs. Press the button, jump down. And down here, you have these hatches that open with some cores inside. You can destroy them to get extra damage on the Guardian before it even spawns. Try to get as many as possible before you start getting shot at. I can get all 4, no problem. And then we just jump up. Swap to our heavy gun and start shooting. Also spam Stimpaks in case you are getting low. Sometimes you can just get completely rolled out of nowhere. It does happen on occasion. Here I forgot to reload my minigun, so I'm trying to time my shots with the Guardians as best I can just to conserve some ammo. That is a strategy, but if you have a full mag, you may be able to just blast it all the way through. Once the shield is down, we switch to auto axe, and if you have enough damage, you can kill him in one go. If you don't, just run into a door and do phase 2, and you can just jump up on him again in the same spot essentially, and repeat the process. But this was possible without activating every buff in the game, and without any 4 stars. So what gear do we need? We need an auto axe to burn down the Guardian as fast as possible. I tried a chainsaw as well, but it was very underwhelming in performance. Maybe I did something wrong, I don't know, but the auto axe was way better. Also, anti-armor is more damage than vampires. Vampires doesn't add extra damage and the effect isn't useful in this scenario. For the second star, 40% power attack damage, extremely important. Third star, ideally 3 strength if you can, for additional damage. Now we'll show you a comparison between vampires damage and anti-armor damage. The results are at the end of this video. You can probably use Bloodied too, maybe even Troubleshooters. I haven't experimented that much. Secondly, you're gonna want a fast-firing heavy gun that has the vampire's effect. That's the only effect you need on it, because you want to get HP back as you are attacking, and you do need a heavy gun in order to activate the bullet shield per card. You will also need a power armor. I haven't tried it without, but I imagine it would hurt quite a lot, so power armor, big thumbs up right here. The main effect that you're looking for is Troubleshooters. I did try it with a full Overeater set, and I did succeed a couple of times, but it seems that it's a lot easier to die in Overeaters. So make sure you have Troubleshooters on your pieces. You mainly just need the first star, and you should be able to do this no problem. As for the legendary perk cards, taking one for a team, you can use this if you have another member in your team. It does not work like herd mentality, where you just need to create a team and it will give you the benefit. You still need someone else in the team as well. So if you're running full solo, you want to switch it out for something else. Since we're running melee, we want the strength per card, even with 15 strength points. Because yes, it's true you don't get extra points if you're already at 15, but you do get an additional 5 strength, which makes it 20 instead of the 15 that you would get, which results in more melee damage. Endurance is also great, gives a lot of perk boosts nowadays with the perk card changes, and then I just have some other special cards so you can kind of use whatever you want. And as for the regular perk cards, in strength the main ones you're gonna want is Incisor, or is it Incisor? I don't know how to pronounce it, and the Slugger perks for increased damage. I'm not gonna go over all of this stuff, and it's also not all properly set up like in Perception. Expert Commando and Concentrated Fire doesn't do anything, so just look at the main damage and defensive perks. The main ones that we want to look at here though is going to be within Endurance, where we have Bullet Shield as I spoke about before. You gain deflect chance while you are firing a heavy gun. That's why we want the Vampire's heavy gun. This is how we deal huge damage to the boss shield. We also want Ricochet from within Luck for more deflect. Another big one is Darchi, and I would highly recommend that you use it. Hopefully you do have some coffee for this as well. We'll get into the food buffs in a second. Suppressor for damage reduction, Tenderizer for more damage, you know, all the usual stuff. Oh, and as a last mention, Junk Shield is a newer card that's been revamped. And at 100 junk, it seems to cap out. and it gives really great defensives. As you can see here, 130 damage resist and energy resist, just for having 100 junk on you at all times. But its effectiveness is going to depend on how much resistance you already have, so it might not do a whole lot for you, but I am using it myself. I'm not sure about the fall off rates, if I'm gonna be completely honest. I just use it to be sure. As for mutations, adrenal reaction, again, if you want to play at lower HP, you will get a damage boost. The HP that you see on screen now is what I am using currently, and it gives me 25% extra damage. It's a bit of a weird threshold, I know, but it works well for me. I get the 1 down, so don't really need to min-max it, I guess. Other than that, herd mentality, as we said, if you just create your own team real quick, it's going to boost your stats up. Also marsupial, it's great for the carry weight, but especially the jump height is what you're looking for here. That's going to enable you to skip the jetpack if you want. Twisted muscles, 25% more melee damage and a chance to cripple, but the melee damage is what we are looking for here. Now for the food buffs, canned coffee. As we said, you're gonna need that on the melee phase. As for the other type of food buffs, whatever strength buff you have available, Deathclaw Steak is easy to come by with the slow roaster. Hot Dog for max HP, it's going to help you out as well. Then you have Pemmican, which boosts your endurance. And before I forget, you're also going to need Carnivore, because that gives you a massive boost in straight up melee damage. That will show you where you can get the best melee buff. So in the White Spring Resort, you can go to this restaurant here and sit down. And once you're in the store, you can sometimes find Tasty Yaoguai Roast, which gives you, with Carnivore, 170% more melee damage. You can also find some other goods in here. You're also gonna need some type of Psycho buff damage, strength, and endurance, and max HP, all of which we can take advantage of. On top of that, you're gonna want a good set of Stimpaks, I would say, so you can spam away when you're starting to take a lot of damage. You have to be really quick on the reactions though. Magazines and bobbleheads and all that. I didn't use any for the fight that I showed in the beginning, so that's not a requirement. You might have noticed that I did have a 4th star on this auto axe, but it doesn't actually do anything. I thought it might do something, but it turns out it doesn't help out with this first boss at all, so just imagine it's a 3-star. Adelaide Companion can be used to reduce damage from robots, very handy. Before we get into the fight comparison, these are all the buffs that I used for the first fight that I showed as well, just for reference to everything that I used to get this 1 down. As for anti-armor versus vampires, or you might say nothing, as the 1st star you can see that I deal quite a bit more damage, 50 more damage per hit. If you are struggling, that might help you push yourself over the limit to finish this within maybe a 1 down or whatever it may be. And one thing to keep in mind, as long as he dies right before you die, because sometimes you die right after killing him, you will still get the rewards. Once you're done killing him, make sure that you go to the data and main tab. In there you got Raid Gleaming Depths. Make sure to reject the quest and you will get sent out instantly. It's a nice way to get out of the raid, and you do need to reset the quest anyway in order to repeatedly kill him. So I hope that was of use. Do keep in mind it might be patched relatively soon, let's hope not. But if it is, do double check the comments. I'm going to highlight the comment there in case it does get fixed. Other than that, thank you for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, comment something. Happy holidays, and I will see you next time.